sent me some pictures.
It's 6:30, Mark.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna call the special meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we're gonna talk about the memorial building damage. We've got several people here that have interest in the extent of the damage and if the building is still gonna be usable in some way or not, so. I wanna you wanna stand up and introduce yourself, just so.
No worries. I'm Cody Johnson. I'm one of the team leads over at Wagner Roofing. And then
I'm Tyler Peterson.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were just, one of my coworkers used to actually run like the sober living house here, and he knows Richard Perkowitz, so he actually called him on Friday. And so him and another guy were like out here that evening, and then we just were back out here Saturday morning, and we've been working on patching that thing up since, so.
You guys are the ones doing the work?
Well, not, like, we have a crew, but it was
Yeah, I
like,
saw the crew.
yeah, thank goodness we have those guys.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for doing such a prompt work and getting after it. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we got lucky that the rain decided to wait a couple of days.
Yep, appreciate that.
Okay, and then is there somebody from the Legion that wants to?
Yep, I
Represent
can, or
yourself?
anybody else.
Okay, Daryl, why don't you start?
Um,
What's your concerns?
My concern was the first thing I wanted to thank these guys and you guys for getting on this project and getting it done. And we really appreciate it. We know that you're trying to help us out as best you can, and we absolutely appreciate it. It's kind of sad that we lost it and we got a few things torn up, but I'm sure we're gonna come through it. And I never saw a town come together. When I came in from out of town that night or that evening, everybody who had a piece of equipment or a chainsaw was running around helping each other out. Unbelievable. What a story to be told. Yep. And now we're coming together with this hall. We're concerned about the hall. Yes, we do want to use it. It's our first venue that we want to use. This is going to be huge. We got confirmation that Hoven's going to be here so far. So, yeah, we're really looking forward. And I think Washburn's going to look very, very good on the news for all that's happening and all that did happen and all that's going to happen. I think it's going to look very, very good on Washburn. Absolutely. Awesome.
John Schultz?
I can draw up on that, what Daryl's talking about. We've been involved in this project for probably more than a year. And we've worked with congressional delegation to attend. We've contacted many of Glenn relatives throughout the country. And we have Holman coming to speak. We have remarks from Secretary Burgum, Armstrong, Federer, and Lisa McCubbin Hill. His wife is attending and will be speaking. And we have 23 different Hill families coming. A lot from North Dakota, but some from Wisconsin, Indiana, Florida, California. We have a lot of people coming from quite a few distances. Let's put our best foot forward on this. Memorial Hall is the venue to use for catering for this very nice meal. It's 2 blocks straight shot down from the Veterans Park versus where would you go in Washburn but up a hill to get somewhere. So it's my personal feeling this is the best venue for it. And the repair looks to be adequate enough to get this done. We'd be there 2.5 hours after the dedication.
I know there was some talk about if you were to use it, if it is approved by the commission, that you wouldn't use that stage area, you would use the north end of the,
Yep, we would just turn everything 180.
That's entirely normal.
Yep. yeah,
The only thing we'd
absolutely.
use on this stage is we'd have a revolving video on the screen of Clint Hill and his life, and that's just running without any music. People can view that as they choose, if everything's okay with the screen. So, but yes, you mentioned that's true, it can be done. It's not preferable, but it can be done.
all right, thank you.
I got it.
Mike?
What are the concerns?
I guess that's what we're gonna voice those here. There is a little bit more structural damage to the opposite side that blew off.
Yep.
And I know we have some pictures of that. And I guess we'll find out where we're at with, our insurance and then, if somebody's gonna come in and, you know, engineering, look at the building and give us an estimate on what's going on there, so. You
Yeah.
know, But,
Everything is, to me, the way I see it, is everything's up to the next storm. It's going to last and it's going to be just fine, unless you're going to jump in there and do the repairs right away. I don't think you are. I think you're going to wait for insurance
oh, yeah,
to
Yeah.
see what they're going to do. So then the gamble is to have our venue on the 31st, on the 1st of August, and then is there going to be a storm? Well, if there's going to be a storm even threatening anytime, then we're out of there. You know that. We don't want to see the other half torn off by a storm. That just makes
Right.
common sense.
so since we have the people that installed the roof, I've watched your people up there walking on it and stuff now. Does it seem pretty secure to you?
I would say I also kind of walked around on it too. So obviously, if we get a storm that's crazy again, I mean, who knows what could happen? But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like unless it gets crazy, like we'll know Thursday if our job did well enough or not, because it's supposed to be pretty nasty pretty much all that whole day. So you'll know. Yeah,
Tuesday
I
we'll
would
know
say.
then.
Yep,
Yeah.
my weather app says it's like, yep, all day from like 6 a.m. till whatever, it's supposed to be fairly bad weather, whether it's rain or actual storms and wind, but, you know, we'll know going through Thursday how well of a job we did on the temporary repair, and then it's, cause the event is Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Yep, Saturday. It's gonna be Saturday.
Elmer?
Mark, has the insurance company been notified and the adjuster, has he been here?
The insurance company has been notified, the adjuster has not been here yet. I'm hoping to hear from him tomorrow.
So this is just, so is there anything we can do up there, you know, kind of to prevent the rain from coming in? If we know it's gonna be coming in Thursday, is there no
So
spray foam we could throw in there right
You
away?
could- I
to
would
keep the
say
rain
you-
out?
probably cause that is the one thing I noticed is like where the cross beams, the
Yep.
6x6s
Yeah,
would
I
go.
can see the
You can
gas.
see in there, like
Yeah.
that'd be something like we could probably just go.
I don't wanna
spray those
screw
in.
up the insurance or the.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like, they'd be fine with that, cause we got tons of photos of like the before showing everything that's out of there, and
Yeah.
obviously just putting a tarp over and fixing that part, like, it goes like, the part that you could see that was ripped off was obviously the most obvious, but the actual missing metal goes like a good portion of the way down the
Yeah.
building, so there's,
Yeah.
it basically gives you a full, you can see the decking, and then there's foam, and then apparently there used to be shingles, and then it goes down, and then it's just all gone, and so.
So there is preventive maintenance that we can do before Thursday?
Yep, I was gonna say that would be the one thing I noticed, like outside of that, it's like, cause they put a tarp like all the way over the
Yeah.
whole thing where they
Yeah.
covered it, but yeah, it's like where those little cracks are, it's a, you know, just get up there and get that. insulation.
Yeah, anything.
And I was inspecting the hardware store today
Yeah.
and looked over at it and it was still, everything was secured down, the tarp anyway. So,
yeah. I don't think we're gonna get another 100 mile an hour.
let's hope not.
Yeah.
Elmer?
Mark, are we really concerned that something's gonna come down and fall on somebody? The contractor's gonna.
Oh, I was to say, it's, for the most part, no, you guys should be fine, like, especially across the majority, like the rest of the roof. Like that stuff is, I can't even fathom like the amount of force because it still had the 6x6 attached to the vaulted tongue and groove wood, and that just picked it all up and just laid it up on the other side. So it's like, I'm surprised it took as much as it did. Like I could totally understand why like metal and some of that stuff would have been missing, but it was like the fact that it managed to grab the whole thing and take the cross beams and everything with it is pretty crazy.
Other than the roof peeling off, the building structure is solid, right?
Yes, from what I could tell, like there was a little bit where those beams were going, like if you look at the side over there, you can see, you know, there's every now and then where those beams were, it popped some of the rock loose, but I mean, overall, it's definitely like in, you know, I hate to call it good condition, but it's in good condition.
You know,
Mark, I
Yes,
just have one question. I was kinda kicked out of there on Friday because I had to get all my food out of there. And then I had to move my venue from the military vehicle thing to the ambulance bay. But in any case, I did not get to go into the kitchen to look to see if there was anything wrong with the kitchen. Is it okay? Because we have a caterer that's gonna use the kitchen.
The kitchen, I believe, is perfectly fine. When I killed the power, I left the electricity on in the kitchen because you had coolers and stuff. And they're closed up, so they're not gonna run any more than normal, but I did shut down all the air conditioning. 'Cause-
Like today, I had to go in and get flags, and one of the city workers mentioned that it lifted the part of the roof up over, and he showed me a beam that was that far up, so I was just wondering
Yeah.
on the structural part of it, are we okay? You know, I don't want nothing to
Well,
happen.
I don't think anybody went up above the kitchen to see what is up there.
Okay,
So, I mean, who knows what's up there?
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And I do wanna state, you know, that building is a storm shelter.
Basement is.
Yeah, for the basement, so.
how's the basement doing? Is that doing
Good.
okay?
It's,
It stinks.
Or anyway.
It stinks.
Okay. We need some ventilation.
Yeah, well, we've had the air conditioning off for the last couple days, so.
We'll be getting a restoration company to come in and clean it.
But the air conditioners are okay,
Yep.
right? They're working, they'll run, and keep it nice and cool
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, they were all running, and then I talked with Zach today, and he thought we could get by with just 4 of those air conditioners. You know, there's 8. So, I guess there's an issue with a couple of them. He said they might need some repair, you know, from previous, not from the storm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they've done any of that stuff has been inspected either.
Okay, and just to make sure you understand, they were trying to say, the bar will be the front for this.
Oh.
Shouldn't be any tables past the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or anything, and they're gonna go 6 across, I think you're going up sort of airplane wing type thing, set 10 at a table, so we're thinking 40 tables.
40 tables.
And, nobody should be in that area at all.
Yeah, we can flag that off or do whatever you guys feel is necessary.
Yeah,
The chairs, how are the chairs?
These guys
You were
break them
taking
out
them
right
out.
away.
I'm sure they're all wet.
They were full of water. When and if we can, well, when we get a restoration company, and I'm gonna ask them to clean all the chairs as well, because they were soaked. So they're gonna need a good cleaning, just like the carpet will.
when some of the ones Larry and I moved
Yep.
the chairs. Some of the ones I felt in between, and they were dry.
So the top.
So
one-
it could be maybe just the top one, absorb some moisture, but none of them were, after we moved them, none of them were dripping or anything. So,
Well, there was a little water dripping. There was some water, not a
Oh.
lot, but there was some.
I was told they're pretty wet.
They were pretty wet. You know, I mean, you get that much rain in that short of time, and I don't care, you know, how stacked they're all gonna get water,
Yeah, they're still,
you know,
they're still
so.
stacked.
All right. Anybody else want to speak up?
So they're still stacked.
Yes.
So do we need to go in and separate them to make sure they're not wet.
That would be a good idea.
Well, I think we
Actually.
need to decide on what
Yeah.
we're gonna do first.
Yeah.
So,
But I do agree that the stage area should be flagged off until our insurance and an inspector can go look at that before that in is usable.
We could tape all that off, so nobody gets anywhere near anything.
That's fine. Anyways, Brandon, it's your portfolio. Would you have any discussion?
You really told me much besides Saturday, so maybe it's your portfolio.
If
No,
I
it's
may,
not my portfolio.
if I may, I have a real problem with the amount of work that was done up there. I mean, it was when it finally came down to it, you know, the insurance company said, do the very minimal work that needs to be done on there, you know, to mitigate damages. And, I mean, how long have you guys been there? I can't imagine how
I
much
mean,
time
if
you
we
got
put
in
any
there.
less up there, we're gonna fall through the roof.
I know, but
Unless
you
somebody can fall
went
off.
way beyond that, you know, you went way beyond covering the hole. So, and then, but an expenditure like that should have come before the city commission, should have called a special meeting. Because, you know, it was what, a month or two ago, that the city had spending limits, which, you know, everybody knows about, and you should have came to the city and said, yes, this is what we want to do, rather than just giving them the go-ahead to do everything that they did.
Well,
And it was not an emergency.
I would say we had
Well, you
an
gotta-
emergency.
That's an emergency,
It wasn't an emergency that had to be done immediately. It could have waited for a meeting.
or for
Well,
another storm.
If
Another
you,
storm.
if it.
They
if
couldn't have
we
waited
had
for a
got
special
another
meeting.
storm, a big storm.
You know,
We
the,
have
the
a
problem is,
swimming
what is your estimate on what this is costing us, by the way?
Like the whole replacement,
No, by what you guys did.
I think it's like 5,500.
$5,500, that's it, with labor and everything?
Mhm.
You were there for like 4 days. Really? I find that hard to believe.
Just in material, we have
Here's
1,200,
your card,
Oh,
you might find
there
it.
you go.
someplace.
So 6,700, there you go.
because that invoice is sitting, well, that's not for this discussion, but,
Yeah.
just in labor, or just in materials, it's right around 1,200. With what was charged on Saturday, it's probably right about 1,500. That's not including labor, that's just materials,
But I
for a
do
rough
wanna,
estimate.
yeah, I do wanna state though, that all that loose material that was up there needed to come off because of safety concerns. If we were to get another high wind, we'd have that
Like I
debris.
said, a special meeting would have been
Yeah.
the proper way to handle everything.
Well, you and I, we visited, we made a
Yeah,
decision,
Yeah, it was basically cover the hole.
right, and that's,
And that's it, and that's was what talked about, was just cover the hole,
Yeah.
we'll deal with the rest, we'll let the inspectors look at it all,
Yeah.
and that's what we said.
Yeah.
And then now they did all this extra work.
well,
How would you have liked us to cover the hole?
Like I said, once you put the OSB on the hole, that was what we said, yeah, okay, put the OSB on the hole. But all the rest of the work that you did, see,
So putting tarps on it and cleaning it?
no, Terry, I'm not gonna sit and argue with you about it, okay?
I'm
well,
just,
no, that's.
you've been
It's-
giving us problems
it's-
this whole way through, so I'm just trying to figure
No,
out.
I'm trying to do
What
things the
did you
right
like
way,
that we
I'm
did?
trying to do things the right way, you know? And I said, the inspector needs to be able to see this stuff. You know, so just do what you have to do to cover the hole for now
And that's
until,
why we
and hopefully we
documented
can get an inspector up to visualize what everything is there. But you guys went in and tore all this extra stuff off. And are they gonna be able to see what's under it? Then you gotta tear all that stuff off that you put on to see what it looks like. I mean,
it. It's a
I
tarp and
think
some
you, I
bolts.
think you guys went way over beyond what should have been authorized.
Wait a minute, for $5,000,
I don't know what the bill is,
No way,
he doesn't
no
have a bill here.
that
So-
looks wonderful, what you guys did.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay, this is not an argument with you and me,
Okay,
so,
yeah.
you know, we're just discussing here.
But, okay, Larry, another thing is, they had to take off that loose tin that was peeled back in order to get that tarp fastened down flush with that roof. You can't leave that pile and then try
There's
to
also
tarp
laying
it.
on the hardware store.
Yeah,
Like
You know.
I said, it should have been discussed. We should have had a
Well-
meeting on that, you know, to move forward.
I reached out to Buddy several times to try to find out And I
That's
kept
beside
mentioning
the
this
point.
is his portfolio, I want him involved. But he was out of town.
Larry, what's the problem with, are you certified?
Yeah, we're licensed
Contractors?
insurers.
Why don't we leave it to the certified contractors?
Well, it's gonna have to go through our insurance,
Sure.
NORDAM.
Well, the only concern I have is our insurance recommended that we don't use it because until someone inspects the structural damage in there.
That'll be coming up, yeah.
And if they do that beforehand, great, but, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to take a risk of anything happening in there with a bunch of
So,
people.
so you would've left it open until somebody came
That's
there?
not what he said.
That's not what I said.
Oh,
I'm
what
not
did
gonna
you say?
argue, I'm not gonna argue either. I want you guys to have your event, but I ain't gonna have something happen and then the city's gotta, so something happens to somebody.
That's the reason why
So just so you guys know, I was making a point on how things should be done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very valid, you know. You can't just have one person go in and say, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then just go ahead and tear all that.
There's a lot of beams lifted in there.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're all tied together.
just,
Can I just ask, what would you have recommended? Like, what was it that you were expecting?
I expected it to cover the whole.
Okay, from what I understand, that there was damage, and it was lifted up and over, and then it was moved over on the other business. So that part had to be removed
And there
bring
was,
safety.
and there was damage.
for safety reasons.
Like I said,
roof.
it should have been handled properly.
Okay, but that's what I'm asking, what is proper?
Well, the proper way is to call a special meeting and say, this is the problem, this is what we have, what should we do? And the commission decides how to handle it.
When would you have done that?
We could have done it anytime.
And why didn't you?
Okay, this is not an argument for back and forth.
So we
I'm not
generally,
arguing anything, I'm asking a question as a
The
citizen.
question is, that we could have done it, that's it, we could have done it. You know,
so
we
we
could have
would
done
have
it,
called that night and then come over, is that what we should have done?
you know
is
what,
that-
I'm not gonna get into your speculation here. It
Well,
wasn't
just
handled
wanna-
I just wanna
correctly.
know what
It
we would have
wasn't
needed
handled
to
correctly,
do.
if Mark would have called a special meeting, we could have made it work.
Okay,
and the
so it would
story.
have been that night, we
It could
would
have
have
been
come
that night.
over. Okay,
It
that's
could
what
have
I'm
been the next
asking.
day. So, my point is, things need to be done properly.
Well, I understand that. I'm just asking to understand what is expected so that
Yeah.
if we ever incur, like, if we go through this again, what we're expected to do at that meeting, I would assume, because we would have been here. Like, whatever time that would have been, 6, 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock maybe?
Could have been in the morning, who knows? It could have been the next morning.
But we also have to look at public safety as number one priority. And with all that
The
debris,
weather forecast was very good.
I know, but we don't know how much of that stuff was loose.
Okay, I
and-
think we've hashed this enough, you know?
Sure,
I think we need to.
but I just wanna make my point,
Yeah.
it was an emergency situation to make decisions and to try to control the situation the best we could.
It's not an emergency like it was on fire. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there was no fire, but,
I think we need to move on to the recommendation.
all right. Any more discussion? If not, we'll move on.
I would just like to say, you are the president, yes?
Yes.
All right. I am glad that you guys did the work you did.
Thank
Because honestly, I would rather have less water damage in that place. I've seen what water damage does to homes and buildings and commercial buildings, and it is not worth fussing over. And so I just have to say, thank you for doing that and for helping our community, because that is a huge investment in our community. Thank you.
Okay,
When is the
I'll call-
inspector coming?
pardon me?
When is the inspector coming?
I don't know,
We don't know.
no.
Can we
The-
request an expedite on it?
The
or-
claim was sent out, I spoke with our claims adjuster that submitted our claim, yesterday and today. And then he sent the claim out to the adjuster that will be coming out to do it. They will call before they come out. He was hoping within the next 2 days, but he couldn't guarantee that.
All right,
I have not spoke with him personally. I just spoke with, Nitter.
I'm gonna make a motion to flag off that stage area. So nobody can go beyond that point to allow the event to happen on the first. That's my recommendation. A motion.
I don't wanna.
Is there a second?
I will second
Okay. Further
What was that? I didn't
discussion?
hear- I didn't hear what she said.
that. I'll second that.
Okay, so I think we need to, Chelsea, what was the recommendation of our insurance company?
He could not make an exact recommendation, but he would strongly advise that the city does not allow an event to be held in there until we can have our adjuster come through and have somebody, they probably will recommend a structural engineer to come through and look at the state of that building, given the beams and stuff, so. That's what he told me
So
today.
with that being said, I don't know why we would go against our insurance company. I really don't.
If we
I feel way
have-
more comfortable if they were inspected before we went and have people go in there for this big of an event.
Well, I,
Public safety. reasons.
part of, right, that's why in my motion, I said that north end needs to be flagged off. That stage area, so, cause that's where all the damage is that we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, cause all those,
Yeah.
everything's tied in together. I mean,
I mean,
that building's old.
right, but if, I'm not gonna walk up on the roof, but people have, and it's supportive of people working up there, so. I mean, we're not asking anyone to be underneath it or to be in that area.
You did say that they wanna use the kitchen. Well, part of that damaged roof is above the kitchen.
Well, not where it blew out.
No, it blew out, but where it
But-
lifted up the whole roof, yeah, that's
Right.
above the kitchen.
Well, on the far end, where the building meets the
The
roof.
kitchen goes all the way to the end of the building.
Correct, but none of that got
Those
lifted or
well, those
none
beams
of
are
it.
lifted by the chimney, that chimney should.
Yeah, it did get lifted, Mark. That's what those pictures are.
I agree. But that chimney is over in the stage area too, right?
Part of it is, but it went beyond that.
Well, but we said nobody went up on the roof of the kitchen that we don't know. I would really push that we get somebody in here ASAP. you
That is
know.
up to our insurance to do that.
Yeah. But you've seen how the community has pulled together to help each other to get things cleaned up.
Which they do. Yeah,
Right.
They do.
Yeah, and my total respect for the city employees that were out there in the heat and working with the public and.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
What are these individuals? What are these in light of your engineers and your contractors and your specialists to see? How do these guys rate? Are they nothing?
They're a roofing company.
They're a roofing company? They do it all the time, so they would
I don't know how often
whether
they do
it's
it.
a
I have
good
no
roof
idea.
or a bad roof?
I have no idea how long they've been doing it.
Can we,
What is your
They're
opinion?
proficient.
What
I
is
mean,
your opinion?
once
on
you
this
start getting
condition?
into like these sorts of things and like that style of a building, there are other things to be checked just besides, cause we could walk all over the roof and kind of looked around and it's like, for the most part, it's fine, but it is with those things they're talking about, I assume what they're worried about is like the cross beams and everything. It's like, I didn't have a skyjack, so I couldn't like go up there and look at
We're
those
not-
things.
We're not licensed,
Okay.
We're not engineers,
engineers, yeah.
I guess.
As far as your hole is concerned, your hole is good.
But yeah,
And then you got those beams too, right, where the roof lifted with that big basketball hoop tied to them on there. I mean,
But we won't be there.
Yeah, we won't be there.
It's that basketball hoop, let's go. It goes right into the
Yeah.
middle of the
know
floor.
the complexity of Saturday and how quickly people are flying in?
I have not personally talked to our adjuster. I was just told his name today at like 4 o'clock.
So he doesn't know what's
He
gonna happen on Saturday.
unless our representative from NADERF has spoke to him personally and told him, because I made it very clear to him
Yeah.
when I spoke with him yesterday and today about the event.
Okay.
But no, I've never spoke to the adjuster.
To answer, Brandon's question on that basketball hoop, those are actually bolted to the rafters, not to any of those beams. You know, those big laminate, or they're not laminate, but
They're actually beams.
yeah, those big beams, that's where that basketball
I
hoop
don't know
is.
if any of them's got
Because
gravity in it. I mean,
I was one of the guys that,
you went up there?
I was up there too. Yeah, Mark and I were both up there, putting those up.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
yeah, Damian Meyer was it too.
I think we need to move on and see
Sure.
a motion on the table.
Yep. Is there
You
any,
seconded it, I think.
yeah,
right?
is there any more discussion?
I have one thing. So obviously somebody that deals with the insurance process and these things all the time. One thing, which it may be a little too late since it's Tuesday and we're looking at something on Saturday, but the squeaky wheel does get the grease. So I don't know who you talk to or whoever, but just tell them. It's like, obviously this is a big situation. And we've had people go from like their insurance adjusters, like, oh, they'll be out in 3 weeks and then they're out in 2 days. So like you said, it's like
Told
the
him.
getting the, yeah.
I just don't have the contact information for our adjuster. Cause he has not called me yet, so I guess unless I could get that and ask,
Yeah, or yeah, just tell the person, it's
But-
just like, hey, like, you know, we've
Yeah.
got this big event coming up, obviously, there's all these things, like, we need to try to get those in there, and then I don't know how much time you need to like set one of these up, but it's like, you can get that person out here tomorrow or Friday morning, if that would be enough time, or those things, but it is, yeah, you just gotta pester them, because they're busy, I mean, a lot of people got this, but it's like, you know, this is obviously a little bit more than the average
No,
house.
I
Yeah, if
can't,
they got one of those guys here to, okay, it's fine, I'll be, oh, yeah.
And it's just like I said, squeaky wheel gets the grease, like, sometimes they'll just sit there and ignore getting back to you on
You
those
might
sorts of
have to-
things.
John Schultz, can you call Hovind and see if you can push up the inspector?
Well, it took 4 months to get in here for the event, so I don't think I'd have much success.
what would you, like me to do differently, Charlotte, contacting our insurance company to get this ball rolling?
Nothing. I was just saying, like, if, I didn't know if it would help if he wanted to call and talk and try to see if we could get them to come. But that's all I was recommending, like, just trying to, nothing you did.
I would imagine-
Nothing you did.
I would imagine these people are really busy, you know, because there was a lot of damage in a lot of places. And I'm sure they,
Excuse me. If you put this in the balance for a few days, you know, we have to make a decision.
Yeah.
If we're not there, for another venue. 3 days. How the hell do you do that?
it was mentioned on Saturday to Daryl that you're probably gonna have to look for another venue. So,
Who made that assumption?
I said to him, he's probably gonna have to look for another venue. You were standing right there. You were
I-
right there and you agreed.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were.
You called me a liar anyway.
I'm not against it,
The heck you are.
I'm not against your thing. If the Memorial Hall wasn't damaged, it would be
One
fine.
positive thing about this whole thing.
Why are you saying I'm against it? I'm not against it. I'm concerned with the building.
There's no-
Okay, okay, one last
All right,
comment.
as long as it's on topic.
I'll work, but I yours is safety engineer. And the main thing we did craft it was really dangerous. Your whole job is to set and look, okay, what do I gotta do to keep someone from getting hurt? And you go through the process, and you say, okay, this is a danger, we do this, we do this. And that is what we're doing, is, okay, you've got, I don't know how long was our 15 feet?
But walk across,
That
yeah.
help. That you got 15 feet that you're really worried about. The rest of it is there, but it's not really a worry. So you got 15 feet to worry about. We're putting ropes up or lanyards, probably 25 to 30 feet forward.
Yep.
And nobody will be back there. And it shouldn't be anything, you know, these men went up there, they threw the shit off, the stuff off, and they've done the cleaning and they've done work. Make sure that the roof's not gonna fall in. they have done a big part of that preventing damage. And so I think where we're at is what we're doing, gonna keep people from getting hurt. And yes, what we were doing is, you know, if the worst comes to worst, it would keep people from getting hurt. But, you know, the rest of the buildings there, we need to use it. You know, we've got a heck of a lot of money in that building, y'all got a heck of a lot of money in that building. We've gotta get there and get equipment out.
Yeah.
In the next 2 days, we're gonna be wanting to get in there quite a bit. In fact, I looked down Main Street today and we gotta replace all those flags. They're in that building.
No, I got them for the guys today, and they're doing them.
Okay, we're getting off topic
Okay,
here, we
yeah,
need to move
okay.
on here.
All right, let's get
Okay,
on.
but one thing I wanna, thank you for taking that damaged stuff off the roof to get rid of that weight. That was vital as well.
Okay,
So that's why I agree of what you did to take off that debris and for the public safety. Elmer?
Yeah, I think the biggest hangup right now is getting that adjuster here. If he doesn't have time, most insurance companies have more than one adjuster. I would say it's a must for him to come up to save us, be able to use that building in time. So it behooves you, the city, to make sure he gets up there when you need him.
Can we table the motion that's on, that you have out there right now until Thursday, hold another special meeting? And we can assess the weather event that's potential for Thursday and give Chelsea and yourself some time to get the adjuster out here to make a better decision.
What if he doesn't show up?
Then we're in the same situation we are now.
well, the thing is,
Well-
if you would table it, then, you know, they would have absolutely no time at all.
Yeah, but if, can you repeat my motion? Just,
Lelm motion to flag off the stage area so no one can go beyond that point to allow for the event to happen on the 1st.
Oh, I seconded it.
Yep.
So, yes.
okay, let's, I'm not gonna table it.
Okay.
So, Larry?
No,
No.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Did it pass?
Thank you.
you know, you're
Yeah.
putting a huge liability on the city by going against our insurance.
I know that.
Okay, as long as you know.
That's
Thanks very
why-
much, Mark. Thank you.
Yep.
So, question, so if nobody's allowed on there, how are you gonna do all that work under there?
Meeting's over.
Well, I can ask them a question. Mark, I'm not asking the committee, I'm asking these guys. If nobody's allowed on the stage, how are you gonna do all your work on the stage too? You just said you're gonna go in there and clean it up and then
that you wanna come up with
stuff
an
like that.
argument.
You know, come on, guys. This is stupid.
No, I wish.
Okay, very good.
But thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember next time, you know, when you vote for the commissioners in.
Your pens? Your pen?
Oh, I just brought it in case we needed them. Thanks.
Oh, the trash.
Just wanna make sure when I tell my wife what happened.
the same.
Yeah.
Because
They
they
tell my
do
wife
our
what
thing,
happened.
short, same thought
Yes,
process.
my name is Charlotte Kozlowski. I'm a Polish married lady.
Like I said, breath
Thank you.
I guess that was my mom and dad.
common sense.
It's hard to find them.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
So-
Right, yeah.
I also had some experience